Donald Trump has not divested from his properties, and therefore he does still technically remain the chief executive of everything within the Trump organization. You know, the golf clubs, the hotels, and the restaurants. But the overall running of the Trump organization has been left to Beavis and Butthead, Eric and Donald Jr. And according to a recent report, the two boys aren't really doing a very good job of actually running their businesses, or hell, even checking up on them. Because as it turns out, the restaurants that reside in Trump properties in the Northeast, New York, the Bronx, New Jersey, these restaurants have been popped for major health code violations just in the last month and a half. And I'm not just talking about, oops, they accidentally left a piece of chicken out. I am talking about sewage backing up into the restaurants because they didn't install the proper drainage systems. I'm talking about live mice being spotted by health inspectors in these restaurants. Food surfaces going uncleaned. People using single-use food products on multiple different food products. Employees not washing their hands, employees touching raw food and then touching other things. Very basic Restaurant 101, you can't do this kind of things happening at Trump restaurants all over the Northeast, including the one in Trump Tower in New York City itself. I want to read you a couple quotes from this article from the New York Daily News here. On July 11th, the City Department of Health inspectors found evidence of mice or live mice. The inspectors also deemed the restaurant not vermin-proof. This was Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, and said its conditions are conducive to attracting vermin and allowing vermin to exist. The eatery's food contact surfaces had not been properly maintained, and unacceptable material had been used to build some non-food contact stations, making them practically impossible to clean. So what I can only assume is that they were just taking little bits and pieces of other things and using them to build workstations because Trump's not buying them food prep tables. That's the only thing I can assume from that. The Trump Tower Eatery has been written up for various health code violations every year since 2014, including sightings of live roaches in 2016 and filth flies in 2017. But inspectors have not, until now, found mice tracks at the posh establishment. So, in spite of the fact that these restaurants have been increasingly disgusting over the years, up to this point, they had not actually found evidence of live mice in the restaurant. Until now. There are live mice in Donald Trump's restaurants. Mr. Clean Freak himself isn't actually keeping his restaurants clean, and his two idiot sons clearly haven't been paying attention. What's important about this is, again, Trump is still the CEO of the Trump Organization. These are his babies, not the mice, but I guess technically they would be at this point. But I'm talking about the restaurants. You know, it's not just what you show on the surface, it's also what's underneath. You know, if anybody has ever watched one of those gotta go in and rescue a restaurant type TV shows, you know, Gordon Ramsay, any of the ones on Food Network that they had, these are the kinds of things that make a real actual chef, business owner, restaurant owner want to vomit immediately. But that is what's happening every day at Trump's restaurants, and that is what food inspectors, health inspectors repeatedly find. And it's not just that, ooh, this is gross. This is going to get people sick. You know, cross-contamination of food products, that leads to salmonella. It can lead to E. coli. It can lead to all sorts of illnesses for the people eating those foods. You know, the rats, they carry diseases. They carry fleas. They can carry ticks. This is a very serious problem, and it shows you how serious Donald Trump is about being a great businessman. And it also is a very good analogy for Donald Trump himself. Always make sure everything looks its best on the outside, but on the inside, it's really just a pile of crap.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.